Hey, how you doing? I'm glad you've joined us today for these daily devotionals. Uh, Trunk or Treat is over here at church. We've had over 1,100 people through the parking lot to Sunday evening. We had a pile of kids and a bigger pile of fun, serving our community and exalting the name of Jesus. Uh, you know, it's important. We want to have a good name. That's our desire here at First Baptist Church Cold Spring. We want to be able to glorify the name of Jesus without hesitation and without uh, complication. But life doesn't work that way, does it? In fact, I'm mindful of that Old Testament minor prophet Hosea. You remember him? He was the one that was called on by God to marry a prostitute. I'm sure the very instant that he did that, his reputation in the community plummeted. It went from hero to zero. Uh, could you imagine the conversations? Can you believe what the Baptist preacher did? You see, is it any wonder that he's considered the first of the minor prophets? The world would say, what a loser. But Hosea, if you really study that Old Testament book, was so patient, tender, loving, persistent, obedient, and even kind of all the Old Testament prophets. In fact, then why would a man like Hosea marry that woman? Because God told him to. God chose Hosea to model the message before Israel like a neon sign on the roadside. Before God, Hosea stood justified and obedient, but before people, he just looked weird. You see, Hosea's wife gave birth to a daughter and two sons, two of which the world would have called illegitimate. His wounds barely healed. He strikes out, looking for the mom who left her children, for the wife who left his bed. He goes after her, this wayward wife, not to punish, not out of vindictiveness, but to bring her back home. And he did. He pulled her out of the arms of others. He claimed her as his own. And I want you to try to picture the faith that it took for Hosea to carry out divine orders. I wonder how many who watched this drama play out before their eyes misunderstood. This was a living object lesson. But God was holding up a mirror before the nation of Israel. That's a tough part, isn't it? Self-examination is almost impossible without prejudice. We want to judge other people with a different severity than when we judge ourselves. So I ask you today, how are you doing? Are you modeling God's message? Do you feel unappreciated, misunderstood, a little foolish, maybe even ridiculed? So it goes with the soldiers of the cross. Long naps and pillow fights ended for me in the late 60s or early 70s. I can't do that to cope anymore. These are rugged days. Days with little protection against the chill of the current cultural criticism. For me, I believe it takes two things to keep us from quitting, and I surely do want to finish well. Two things: it takes a tough hide and a tender heart. Hosea had both. How about you?